All right, looks like I am live. I believe. I think. If you are here, yesterday we had a couple of mic issues, so just to make sure that we're on the right path. If my mic sounds good and you can hear me and all that, if you don't mind in the chat box there, hit the number one. And if you can not only hear me, but if my mic sounds good. How's he good? All right, Kyle. Okay, good. So the mic sounds good. We don't have to cross that bridge here. Excellent. Well, as always, for those of you that have been here before, we're on a streak of now 7 days. We've had 100 likes. So if you've been here before and you know you're going to like, just a reminder, please hit that like button. It helps out. But if you're brand new, first off, welcome. But yeah, second, no need to hit the like button because I realize you don't know if you're going to like or not. But if you've been here before and you know that you will like, please hit that like button. And we'll see where the day goes. And this is all viewer driven. So I want to talk about what you guys want to talk about. I want to do what you guys want to do. So if you have a request for something, let me know. I can take a look at a stock, a crypto, futures, options, forex, and then or questions or whatever. And then right now we're just looking at the futures market, and we've had a nice little bouncer off of the overnight high. And I did take that trade, but just very small. Did you blow your 50,000 account? I don't know what you're talking about, Casey. I have not been working with with a $50,000 account. I've been working with a $50,000 account. Man, what an opening question. Do you trade the SPY? Mike, I do not. The SPY is an absolute waste of time. Absolute waste of time. And there are way better ways to go about things. If you're curious, Mike, I'd be happy to explain that comment. Lucid, Kyle. Kyle, you've been here before, right? Asking about Lucid. Hey, Rick. Hey, June. Why is that? I'm curious. Mike, let me address that in a little bit, so stick with me, and I'll address that when we get a few more people here. But yeah, I'm going to back up the statement why anybody... same with Biana. QQQ. Why do you care about the QQQ? That is a waste of your time. There are better ways to go about it, and I will prove it to you. I'll introduce everybody to Pam's plant here in a little bit, and that would be my argument. Yeah, I was going to say, Kyle, I'm pretty sure I've recognized your name. So why are you still even focused on stocks at all, Kyle? You've heard about... Well, let me ask you this, Kyle. Have you heard about Pam's plant? Have I introduced you to Pam's plant, Kyle? Hey, there's Hoover. Hoover, I don't think you ever joined my community. Remember, I gave you that assignment yesterday. Joey, hey. Hey, there's Relax. I trade the SPY options and do pretty well. Well, I'm going to submit to you there is a better way to go about things. To be fair, though, I'm assuming you want to be a day trader, though, Mike. If you are a swing trader or whatever, that's fine. But there is a better way to go about it. I'm going to today. All right, Hoover. All right. Pam's plant, not sure. Oh, Kyle. Maybe I have you mixed up with another Kyle. Okay, Mike, then if you day trade, then yeah, Pam's plant is going to be better than options for sure on several different fronts. So I guess let me ask this, because there's people already asking about stocks and stuff like that. I'm 2 days away from the TBD test. I'm only $500 from the 25. No, I think what you mean, Relax, is you're doing a $25,000 account and you're only $500 away from the profit target. Because to be only $25,000 from 25, there's no such thing as a 25K profit. Okay, all right. From the profit target of the 25,000 account. Gotcha. Oh, thank you for reminding me. Just a minute there, Hoover. I appreciate you asking. Right there. CLAY. It's got to be all caps. It's just I did need to put that link. I'm pretty terrible at this. Let me get that up real quick. Now it's pulling back here. Let me get this. Firm power. Who I use and recommend. And then let me get that or pinned, I should say. There we go. All right. Buy that dip. Maybe. I'd feel probably a little bit more better about the dip down here. Because I don't know, Mike. My question to you would be, where do you, if I'm buying this dip right here, where's the stop loss? Now, at this point, I suppose we have a stop loss location, but... So, yeah, I could see maybe buy right there, stop down there, and then if you think this thing is going to make another push back upwards, have a pretty tight stop relative to a bigger move if it does turn back around. So, in my little trade, right there, you could potentially have been filled right there. I bought it, got breakout even. Got out. Break even? Oh, man. So there we go. And for those that are here, you heard me say it. You could buy right there, stop down there. So right there, look, you already have, if you're taking profit at the 50, well, a little bit slightly above. These lines aren't perfect, but you get the idea. Right there, you have about 1R. Evil Shaddix just scalped 300. Very good. Again, if you're enjoying, if you're liking, make sure you hit that like button. There we go. There we go. So, yeah, Mike. So Mike, now you're further proving why you should not be doing options with SPY. You should be doing Pam's plant, because what you're looking at here is Pam's plant. And you said buy the dip. Mike, you would have been right. And I can tell you this right now. This move here would give you way more than what you would get in the world of options. Okay, so for context here, a couple people I was asking, and we got one person, what was it, Jared? Jared's asking about LCID, which is a stock. Mike's asking about SPY, and he's saying that he's trading SPY options. Look at this. Look at that. Well, congratulations. Did anybody take that? Like I said, mapped it out here. Do you buy right there? Stop down there. So did anybody get long right there? If you did get long right there, yes, Kyle, Pam's plant has a little money tree with it. Yes. I'm pretty sure you've heard it, Kyle, because I'm pretty sure I don't have you mixed up. So yes, if you did buy right there, again, this is just my thoughts. You got to think for yourself. I would say at least, bare minimum, your stop should be like up here to at least ensure that it's a winning trade now. Hopefully you've pulled some off the table as it's gone. But, I mean, to still have your stop down here, I mean, are you really going to let a movement this fantastic go all the way against you? Again, it's your account. It's up to you. But for me, I would say at least you'd want to get the stop loss up there, if not even right here now, below the low right there. But like I said, that's totally up to you at this point. I'm trading on my phone right now. So I don't have to keep a tight strategy. Don't have much control over the chart now. I think you're a crazy person trading from your phone. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of people do it, but goodness, that seems crazy to me. I've heard that Tradeovate has a good app, but still, that seems like a very crazy thing to do. But also, that's why trading's fun, because everybody's got to figure out what works best for them. And trading from your phone gives me the sweats. It makes me start to panic. All right, so anyways, had some people asking about stocks, and I'm going to make a very bold statement right now, and it may offend you, but please just hear me out and give me a chance to explain myself. But if you trade, and now I'm in the category of day trading. If you want to be a day trader, if you want to day trade, so if you're in that category, then if you're trading stocks, options, Forex, or crypto, you are wasting your time. All those things are garbage compared to Pam's plant. So what is Pam's plant? Well, Pam's plant is an argument for futures trading, but a future trading in a specific way. So let's get this off here for right now. So the P of Pam's plan, in the world of stocks and options, unless you have $25,000, you are not allowed to day trade as much as you want. You get 3 day trades over a 5-day period. And a day trade being you buy and sell in the same day. So you only get 3 of those per every 5 days in the world of stock and options, unless you have $25,000. So that in and of itself, in my mind, is powerful enough for you stock and options traders to kick that to the curb, because in the world of futures, there's zero, I repeat, zero pattern day trading rule. Number 2, around the clock. They're open pretty much all the time. Now, they're not open on Saturdays, but for argument's sake, they are open essentially around the clock. So if you're busy, there's always a time that you could find in your schedule to trade them. The M, the movement. The movement is amazing, but the more powerful thing is your ability to control it. And I will show you some examples over the course of the live stream of how you can control the movement. So the movement is fantastic, but your ability to make it more volatile or less volatile is totally in your hands, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. And it doesn't require any more capital on your end. You can short whenever. A lot of people, they want to short, micro caps or penny stocks or small caps because they go down and they make big movements and all that sort of stuff, which is true. But then you have to deal with hassles of, okay, you got to locate shares. Then you have to pay extra for those shares. And you have to go through all this stuff just to make a short. All these extra fees, all the hassle, but there is none of that here. Plus, when those big spikes can happen, if you get stuck in a short squeeze, those micro caps, those penny stocks, yeah, a lot of them eventually go down. But if you get stuck in one of those big spikes, it could be game over. Whereas with Pam's plant, it would not be game over, and I'll explain what I mean by that. And now the second S, you can stop scanning. With futures, you know what you're going to trade every day. You show up, you watch it, you trade it, because the same thing every day is giving multiple opportunities. Whereas in the other realms, okay, I got to show up, I got to find the hot crypto. So you got to run scans to see what cryptos are moving. You got to show up, find the hot stock, and you got to do all this sort of stuff. Sometimes you have to pay for scanners, and you have all this extra time that you have to do, which is not the case in the world of futures. You know what you're going to trade. You show up, you roll out of bed. You don't have to, I got up 2 hours early because I had to run my scans this morning. Nope, none of that. You just show up because you know what you're going to trade. So that's futures, but then I would argue you want to trade them through a prop firm. So this is where the plant comes into play, prop firm power. So the first L, or the L here, is low capital required. So just to give you an idea of what a prop firm is and what kind of capital would be required, and this is the one I'm using, I'm recommending. But if you wanted $25,000 worth of buying power, it would cost you $105. Now this is the test phase, so all prop firms, you prove yourself as a trader, and then with the one I'm using, Take Profit Trader, after you pass the test, after you prove yourself, they move you into a pro account, and in the pro account is where, when you start to make that money, you can request it and put it right into your pocket. So what is this test, you may be asking? Well, the goal with the $25,000 account, which again costs you $105, is you have to make $1,500, but you are not allowed to lose $1,500, and we'll get to more of that in just a second. But as you're seeing here, very low capital required. If you want to go to the other extreme and get $150,000 of buying power, that would cost you $252. So low capital required. Now, the A is the biggest one. Added risk control, and it comes in 2 ways. The first way are the rules. Yes, prop firms during the test phase, and even when you get to the pro account, they put rules upon you, but these are good rules. These are rules that you need and should want as a trader, because these rules are designed to make you focus, think about, and control risk. And that is the name of the game for trading. I get it. It's fun to talk about making money, but the true key to success is, can you manage risk? Do you know how to control it? And those rules are going to force you to focus on those things, and that is a good thing. And then the second is you protect your own money, because going back here, when you think about it, let's say that I see an evil Chat X, but let me finish Pam's plant. But when you look at it, let's say you do the $25,000 account, it costs you $105. But then let's say you go out there, you lose your mind, you start revenge trading, you get caught in a crazy move, but just something happens. Either it's your fault, or we all know how the market goes. Sometimes you just get caught in crazy moves. And one of those moves cost you $1,500. Well, if you are within the context of a prop firm, your money is protected. How so? Well, sure, in the test phase, you're trying to make $1,500, but you're also not allowed to lose $1,500. If you go to the $50,000, the goal is to make $3,000, but you're not allowed to lose $2,000. So let's say you lose $2,000. Did you actually lose $2,000? No. What you actually lost was just the cost of the account. So for the $50,000 account, you would have lost $119. So in all actuality, your risk per trade, because let's just say you take one trade and it ends up blowing you up, it ends up causing you to fail the test, is actually only $119. So right there, it can ease the mind. But again, a lot of times we'll have those situations where it's like, whoops, that was dumb, but I learned a lot. So my question is always, well, what is the oops, I learned a lot going to cost you? Do you really want it to cost you $2,000? Well, sure, you failed the account. You can always try again, though. You can always try the test again. Or would you like it to cost you $119? I think most people would be like, if I have one of those oops, that was really dumb, but I learned a lot. I think most people would say, I want the but I learned a lot to cost me $119 as opposed to $2,000. But if you're out there using your own money, so if you're shorting, micro caps and you get caught in a big spike or something crazy happens and you literally lost $2,000, maybe you're saying, well, that was dumb, but I learned a lot. But yeah, sorry, that still cost you $2,000 when there is a place out there, Pam's Plant, where that would have just cost you $119. So that is how your capital is and your own money is protected. And then nuclear explosion growth, there is a thing known as copy trading. And that is where with Take Profit Trader, you can have up to 5 accounts. So in other words, you can make just one trade, but if you copy it to your 4 other accounts, that one trade is all of a sudden happening 5 times. So if you make one trade for $200, actually when that trade's over, you now have $1,000, right? Because you made that one trade on that one account for $200, but if you copied it to the other 4, now all of a sudden that one $200 trade becomes 5 $200 trades, and right there, boom, you have $1,000. Now, of course, this works in the opposite way. If you're out there not knowing what you're doing or anything like that, well, then yeah, you can ruin a bunch of accounts in one fell swoop also. But again, under the context of having a strategy and the potential there, you can see how you can grow money very, very quickly. And then tax reporting is easy. All you do with Take Profit Trader, they send you a 1099 form. So all you got to do is take that 1099, give it to your accountant, and poof, your taxes are done for the year when it comes to your trading. I mean, how easy does it get in that regard? That is, I would say, a very, very ideal set of circumstances. So that is Pam's Plant. You are more than welcome to disagree with it, to argue against it. I have not heard any good arguments. I've had people attack me, but that's not attacking Pam's Plant. That's attacking me. That's the ad hominem fallacy, where you're going to the person, you're going to me. So don't attack me. Let's just assume that I'm a scammer, I'm a con man, I'm a scumbag. I don't know how to trade. I don't make any money trading. Just whatever negative thing you can think of. Let's just assume that is true about me. Okay, fine. Now, what's your problem with Pam's Plant? Nobody's been able to address that. I've had some attempts, but they've been very non-persuasive attempts. So that is Pam's Plant. So that is why, Mike, I would argue that with the options, and same with, I don't know why, Kyle, I shall invest in one. How do we feel about... Okay, finally, Kyle. All right, let me go back. Sorry. And as a quick FYI, $5 super chats, I will get your comment right away. Or if you have a request for me to take a look at, a chart or something like that, it could be a stock, it doesn't have to be futures. $5 super chats, make sure I see it and I'll do it right away. Anything else, I'll still try to get to it, but I don't make any promises. But 9:30 or NQ at 9:30 a.m. timestamp, huge upwards movement. I entry was off by 5 points. Oh man, yeah, the NQ right at the open. Yeah, right here. Man, 5 points you just missed. It happens. It happens. Let's see. I got to catch up now. Okay, does Pam plan? I'm trying to... I trade from my phone. Yeah, I used to use TradeOVX app. Made 500 on my computer this morning. Nice. At work right now. I only risk about 3 points on mobile. Okay, well, that makes me feel better that you have that tight of control. So the futures contract NQ expires March 25th. No, now everybody's moved over to the next futures contract, Casey. So I am now trading the M. So that's the one that expires in June now. So yeah, I'm no longer trading the one that expires in March. So I've been trading the H contract. I would advise moving to the M, but my platform told me when to do it. So TradeOVX was like, hey, you should probably change your contracts because now these contracts have higher volume. What do you get when you pass the test? If you make 2,000 or 3,000, do you get to keep it? No, you don't get to keep it, Mike. What you're doing is once you pass the test, then you move into the pro account, and then in that account, the money that you make, you start to be able to keep. So right here, In the pro account, whatever you make, you're keeping 80% of it, or in the pro plus account, you're keeping 90% of it. Which again makes sense, right? They're not going to just give you profits. Just the test account, it's all just to prove yourself. Once you prove yourself and you move into the pro account, then there you go. You can start to make, or you get to keep that money that you make. So that is what you earn. That is, and again, this is all for, especially if you use my code, then there's no activation fee. Without the promo code, usually there's a $130 activation fee. So after you pay, you'd have to, after you pass, then you'd have to pay $130 to activate your pro account. But right now with this deal, there's no activation fee. So it's actually a really, really good promo right now. So in other words, literally, if you pay the $119, this is all you're going to have at risk. So you pass the test, you have $119. You don't have to pay any more for the pro. You still have $119 at risk. You start to make money. In fact, last week, I don't know if he's here right now, but Mark, who is a member of my private community, he did two 50,000 accounts, because remember, you can have up to 5. So he had 2 of these. So he paid 119 times 2. If I remember, I think that was like 236, if my math is right. Don't hold me to it. So he had 236 all in, and he ended up making $4,500 before he blew up his accounts, meaning he failed. He broke the rules. So think about it. His only money on the line was $236, but then he was able to turn that 236 into $4,500. So I mean, that seems like that's a good return on investment. Can people see me or hear me or okay? All right, I think I'm back. Can anybody confirm? Yeah, my internet dropped out. I mean, it is kind of windy here today. All right, well, I have no idea where I popped out. I've been answering questions, and I don't know how long I've been talking to myself, but that's disappointing. Then we just lost a bunch of viewers. That's disappointing. So yeah, I have no idea how long I've been talking to myself here. Jeff Ball, the 50,000 is for futures only. Yes, futures only. That's the only thing you need. All right. Well, I will. I'm not going to answer those past questions just because I don't even know if those people are still here. If you are still here and you've asked a previous question, I'll maybe just copy and paste it, so I know to ask it. So yeah, let's just do that. If from your perspective I have not answered your question, just copy and paste it back into the chat room, because I think I've been sitting here and I was talking to myself for like 10 minutes thinking that I was answering questions, and I was, but then apparently my internet had been out. Oh, now we got to do this. All right, let me log back into my account. That was super annoying. So again, if I have not answered your question, please just copy and paste it, because I've been answering questions, but I don't know at what point. Okay. Oh, really? I didn't even. Kyle, I have no idea. Nobody knows. Kyle, let's just assume for a second that me and Jerome Paul are buddies, and Jerome was like, hey, here's literally everything to the detail of what's going to happen. That doesn't do anything because me nor Jerome, we don't know how the market's going to take that information. So I have no idea. Your guess is quite literally as good as mine. So my thoughts, I don't have any thoughts because I don't know. And I don't try to predict stuff like that either. It's kind of like inside information too. Even if you have inside, now I suppose in some situations it's kind of like for sure, like, okay, we know that this drug is about to be approved. That's a pretty for sure bet that stock price is going to go up. But in some situations, even if you know the inside information, there's still that variable of, yeah, but how's the market as a whole going to take it? And that's where things get a lot more sketchy. Okay, if I keep looking back, I'm just checking my internet thing. Now I'm all paranoid. I thought that was Norm talking to yourself. That's funny. How do they give you so much buying power? Because it's on a simulator, Mike. It is simulator trading. So that's how they're able to put you to the test without having them, just risk like a bunch of their money. I'm $280 from passing my first account. Nice, Dan. Did I forget to pay? I think I paid it. I think I paid my internet bill. All right, well, I'm going to answer more questions, but let's take a look at this and let me just throw out some... do you get any buying power in real life? It is real life. Once you get to the pro account, your profits are real. They will pay you those profits. Now, in the prop firm world, that's why you want to work with established companies who you know are going to pay you. And that's why I recommend Take Profit Trader, which I just remind... But that is why I recommend Take Profit Trader, because they have a track record. And a lot of prop firms, it doesn't make them a scam per se. But if you make, let's just say $10,000, they'll be like, no, you can't request the $10,000 until 2 weeks from now. And even 2 weeks from now, you can only request $2,000 of that $10,000. Some prop firms do it like that. Now, they'll pay you, but I personally, I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, no, I think that if you make $10,000, then you should be able to request the $10,000. And you should be able to request it not 2 weeks from now, but like right away. And that's what Take Profit Trader allows you to do. So it is real buying power in the sense of if you make money with it within the pro account, then they are going to pay you that money. And that's where, Take Profit Trader is maybe a little bit more expensive up front, but I think the back end flexibility is it makes it more than worth it. And when I say more expensive, I mean just slightly more expensive. Does that make sense, Mike? You would short right here? So it's really just a question of, is this a double top? If you think it is a double top, then yeah, Mike, you could get short right here. You have a tight stop up above these highs. If you think this is a breakout or if you think this is not going to be a double top, but as of right now, that's the question. Do you believe this is a double top? That's the question you have to ask yourself. You do have a nice little risk reward again. If you're short right here and you put your stop up above the highs, but then you do get a move in your favor. I mean, relative to what was being risked, you could be looking at a very good move. But if you're someone that's like, no, Clay, I think this thing's getting ready to break out, well, then, yeah, obviously you wouldn't want to be short there. You could, again, just thinking out loud here. From that standpoint, do you buy the breakout and then you just put your stop? Whoa, that's not what I wanted. Then do you put, how did that get, wow, that internet outage messed up all sorts of stuff. Or do you get, buy the breakout right there? What am I trying to, there we go. Or do you buy the breakout and that, well, never mind. Now your risk profile is changing. So right there again, Mike, I mean, hey, it looks like you'd be pretty good at futures trading. Because that's what you're doing right now, Mike. You're making claims based on futures. And that's the thing is people's like, well, I never traded futures. Well, have you ever looked at a chart before? Because I could lie to everybody and be like, we're looking at a stock chart right now. I could say, hey, we're looking at a crypto chart. And nobody would know any different because that's the power of charts. They're all looking the same. They're just measuring different things. So this one just happens to be measuring the world of futures trading. And if you're enjoying, hit that like button. I want to try to get this up to 100, keep that streak going. So if you are enjoying, hit that like button. What's the minimum you need to reach before you can request payout? You have to build up your drawdown. So if you're, so for example, on the 25,000, you'd have to make 1,500 because that was the amount you were allowed to lose on the test. So that means that's the amount you have to get over. But like if it's the $150,000 account, so on this one, you would no longer have to make 9,000 before you can draw anything. You would just have to get up to your drawdown amount, which would be 4,500. And then that stops. And then after that, it's all sunshines and butterflies. Oh yeah, and yes, you're right. Anybody that's playing FOMC, like that's totally a gamble. On Take Profit Trader, you're not allowed to do it. Because again, these rules are designed for good things. And Take Profit Trader says there are certain events that you're not allowed to trade for. So you cannot be in the position 1 minute before the announcement, during the announcement, or 1 minute after. So that's how they're defining it. Because to your point, Evil Shaddix, that's a total gamble because nobody knows. So they're not going to let you do that. That's a rule violation. which goes back to Pam's plant about added risk and those rules. That is a good thing. That is a good thing. Sure, maybe it's fun to just gamble and see which way it goes, but is that actually trading? No, that's just you going to the casino. And Take Profit Trader does not want to align themselves with degenerates, right? They want actual traders. Could straddle it and trying to pass fail test in a hurry. Or you could get roasted. I'll call Nancy Pelosi. yeah, she'll know. Kyle, stay out and wait for the trend, the short or long. Otherwise, it's gambling. I legit look at it skyrocket and didn't do anything. Do you get any buy? Okay, answer that. I would short right there. What's the minimum? Again, if you have a request or you want me to get to your question right away, $5 super chat to bring it to my attention right away. If not, I'll try to get to it, but it may not be like 20 minutes until after you say it. JMO, don't know if you read it, but just wanted to thank you for showing me the benefits of trading futures. Definitely no PDT rule is a major plus for me. Yes, Pam's plant right there. Pam's plant strikes again. Somebody else saying, hey, thanks for showing me about futures. And that is my main goal here. I'm not here to try to make you think I'm some sort of great trader. I don't think I'm a terrible trader. That's fine. My focus here is Pam's plant and educating people on this because I really do think it is the best way for traders to go about their journey. So right now, yeah, that double top. If you took the double top, I'm not quite sure if you'd be able to move your stop down at all and have it make sense. If we can get a little bit more move down to the downside here, then potentially I could see maybe a stop. But like I said, need a little bit more, and then maybe you put a stop right there. But regardless, if you had multiple contracts, this move down, hopefully you took off at least maybe one of them. So I don't know if you're out of the woods yet. It could still maybe be a break-even, small win, small losing trade. But that would depend on how much of your position, how many profits did you lock in down here. But yeah, right now, double top is still in play. But like I said, I would not call. We're still not out of the woods in terms of being some sort of great success. Because if this comes up and takes you out, again, assuming you took some profits off down here, it's not going to be a full-size loss or anything like that. But I would probably call at this point it's either going to be a small loss, break even, or a small gain if this thing comes back up through. I think we see your standard double top, so I would do a quick short and then go long. Like I said, okay, so there it is. So now you could potentially go short there if this is a fake break with a stop up there. But if this keeps pushing upwards, that's going to change your risk profile. So that's the higher up it goes, the higher the risk profile becomes. So I would say that double top trade there, again, small loss, break even, or small gain, but that all depends on how you manage, how aggressive you got in your profit taking when it did reject back down. Well, Mike, Mike, do you see now? Has Pam's plant pointed out to you why trading? Oh, and the other thing for you, Mike, so you know this, Mike, in the world of options, this action here, this action here, this action here is a killer because you have theta that you have to deal with. There is no theta. There's no Greeks in futures. So this sideways action is not eating away. It's not eroding the value of your position. You don't have to deal with any of that. So that was the other thing. That's the added bonus that's not included in Pam's plant, but it's specific to options traders. There are no Greeks. There is no theta in the world of futures. Haven't seen Clay in a long time. Glad to see you. Yeah, I'm still at it. Why haven't you seen me? Why haven't you seen me? Let's get this up to 50 likes. We need 6 more. We got 87 people here. So now the question really becomes, do you want to buy a pullback here? So let's get this in play. So there's a former breakout point. So right here, is that something that you would be interested in? Just a basic situation with whatever you're trading. It breaks out. Will it back test and go? So if you think that there's a chance of that, then yeah. Now, of course, the risk here is if it never back tests and goes and just keeps on going, well, you're going to be left in the dust. But If you're someone that's like, well, I'm gonna buy right here on the new break, okay. Well, if it all of a sudden back tests and goes, that might be enough to, to stop you out. But yeah, right now it's really a question of if you like to play, the back test and go. That is a possibility here. Of course, no guarantees because we don't know if this thing's going to pull back. But yeah, that's the question right now. Will it back test and then will it go? So two-part question. First off, it's got a back test, and then after that, will it go? But if you do wait for a back test, you can get yourself a nice little small risk profile. But right now, if you're buying this breakout, I suppose you could put, the stop like right below there and have a decent sized risk profile. But that's not totally comfortable for my style. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Will it back test and then will it go? Look at the 5 minute here. Ba-boom. Okay, a lot of, again, $5 super chats. Make sure I see your message. I'm kind of getting lost in them all here. I feel like trading futures with a prop firm makes you hesitate less, so it's advantage. Exactly, Fred. That's my argument. Is it can help with this, because there's scared money don't make money. If you've never heard that saying, you probably will hear it many times, but it's true. If you're out there nervous because I got this money on the line, that's a very handicapped spot to be in. But if you can sit there and in a sense be like, yeah, I don't really care about the money because it's only this amount, it's only the cost of the account, then yes, you got to be very careful. You don't want to turn into a degenerate gambler, but it does alleviate the pressure of, I can't lose this money. You can be like, if I'm wrong, it's only going to cost me that amount. That's going to make staying in a trade, managing a trade a lot smoother. Smooth and steady breakout. So any shorts that took the double top, that got stubborn, they're in a world of hurt. So lesson there. Just honor the stops. Honor your stops. Okay, Mike, it's time for you to, you got to get Mike's over here, armchair quarterback and everything. Time, go get a Take Profit Trader account. Start. So far, so good. So far, so good, but time to put your money where your mouth is, Mike. Clay, you're the man, thanks, and I'm out. I like it. Yep, that's Ant Theta. Yeah, Ant Theta. There's no Ant Theta in futures. Nice, made 4,000 on this. So you trade futures already, Mike? I'm so confused right now. I just thought you were armchair quarterback in all this. I didn't know that you were actually taking these trades. Been busy and took a break from the markets. Cool. Pullback is 57.25. Oh, he's trading ES. ES is always a good market too. So on your MNQ tab, it says 2 minute. Mine says 1 minute. Am I supposed to change it manually? If you want to change time frames, you just click on it. And then if you want to get to some other time frame, you can click on the custom. And then you can change your custom to whatever you want. So, there's a bunch of choices right there too. So that's how you change it. Whether or not you change it to 2 minute, that's totally up to you. I like the 2 minute, but that doesn't mean that that's like what you have to use. All right, maybe you're getting a pullback. Again, we're kind of just waiting to see, do we get some sort of back test and go? Does it back test the former breakout point and then go? That was a terrible question mark. I don't know if that was much better. Again, people that like to trade counter trend, do you get a short here? Low probability trade because you are against the trend, but your stop is oh so tight. Because if you put your stop above these highs, then yeah, you'll be wrong. You'll take a loss, be very minimal loss. But if you get some sort of pullback, you could be looking at a good solid upside amount. Okay, Mike trades it. Yes, yeah. Okay, never heard of pan. Yeah. So are you saying you're trading futures with your own money, Mike? Is that what you're saying? Hey, we're up over 50 likes too. Good job. So those are really the two thoughts that I see right now. You could take a short because you do have a defined stop. You have a little indecision, but just got to realize it is a low probability trade, but the low probability nature is compensated in the fact that it's a low risk because you have a very tight stop. But if you're like, no, I'm not touching that, then the other possible approach, as I've been talking about, is the back test and go. Will it pull back enough to then go? Or some people are like, no, Clay, I'm going to play it short, and then I'm going to cover down here to get long so I can play that. So I mean, some traders that are quite skilled, they might make money both ways. So right now the short's looking very good. What's your view on the Fed meeting today? Bullish or bearish? I have no idea, because even if I knew what the meeting, what the details were, what the announcements were going to be, I have no idea. Nobody, I repeat, nobody has any idea how the market is going to perceive that information. It is a total guess, and anybody that tells you otherwise is lying to you. Because like I was saying earlier, even if Jerome Powell was my best buddy and he was like, listen, Clay, here's what the announcement's going to be. Here are all the details. Here is my speech. Even if I had his speech, I do not know how the market is going to take that speech, how it's going to react. So no idea, and nobody knows. Sharp pullback, then run up. Okay, so okay, we're getting the pull. Ooh, what would be extra spicy? Can we get so that right there, the green line is a 21 EMA. Can we get that to match up right here? Then you'd have a double whammy of support. Again, just because, there's nothing that guarantees this is a support. That's why risk management matters. But is it at least a plausible thought that this could be an area of support? In my mind, it is, for the reasons discussed. It is a former breakout point. When levels of resistance are broken, they tend to act as support. So not guaranteed to happen, but I could see it happen. Okay, Mike is trading his own money. Yeah, so I would argue, I mean, it's really Mike. Oh, wait, did he give me? Just so you know, Clay, I used to trade years ago and lost over 200,000. Several years ago, I took a couple of your classes and started to follow you. I learned to. Oh, cool, Mike. So, yeah, awesome, Mike. Well, I'm glad you've turned the corner. But, yeah, so, I mean, that's where the argument for the prop accounts goes. So, I mean, you pay $252 for $150,000 of buying power, Mike. And let's say, like I said, you've lost over $200,000. You do something stupid. You get caught in a crazy move. You revenge trade. The market just spikes against you. Just something crazy happens. Oh, which reminds me, I have to share with you my day. But let's say whatever happens, boom, $4,500 gone. Now, yes, you did fail the test. Yes, they would take the account away from you, which you can always get back again. But let's just say, that's what happens. But it didn't cost you $4,500 out of your pocket. Where if you're trading futures with your own money, yep, that's $4,500 coming out of your pocket. In this situation, it would only be the cost of the account, which was $252. So that's where, I mean, you can go trade futures with your own money. It's just a question of, those losses. If you're trading futures with your real money, then all those losses, those are yours. If I pass the test, will I have to pay anything to switch to the pro account? Normally, yes, but right now, assuming you use the deal that's on your screen, or the code that the message that's pinned, no, that's part of the deal. Is it's 30% off plus no activation fee. Normally, yes, I'd be answering your question. Yes, you would have to pay $130, but again, if you're using the promotion, you're getting 30% off, and once you pass your test phase, then you are not, I repeat, not having to pay the $130 activation fee. All right, well, it pulled back, didn't quite go down to that area. We'll see if it still wants to, but nice little hammer candle there. So if anything, kind of building out a little bit of a bull flag right there. Nice 56 likes. Keep hitting that like button if you enjoy. It'd be I think the record right now is 125 likes. We'll see if we can get that done or not. 5 minute, 8 period is right in the same neighborhood. Is it? Okay. Now I'm a very successful day trader. Awesome, Mike. Well, I think you should try out the prop firm world. I think it's worth at least a try. Worth at least a try, Mike. Especially if you know what you're doing, then you can start to do the copy trading stuff. And then, going back to Pam's plant, that nuclear explosion growth with the copy trading, that could really expedite your account growth too. Trading BDTX. Andrew, why are you trading BDTX? BDTX is an absolute waste of your time and capital. If you're curious, Andrew, I would love to prove that to you. Or if anybody else is here and you trade stocks down below that $5 range and you're like, wait, why is trading stocks down below $5? Why are you saying that's a terrible idea and a waste of time, waste of capital? If you're curious, I'd be happy to walk you through the reasoning and, quite frankly, the math. So it's not going to be my opinion. It's just going to be math. But if you're curious, let me know. Hit that 5 in the chat box. Like I said, if you're somebody that's watching and you do trade stocks down below that $5 range, and you're like, wait, why is this guy saying that what I'm doing is stupid and a waste of time and a waste of capital? Let me know, and I'd be happy to elaborate more. If you do blow your account, is it better to reset or start a new one? I would just, well, no, for sure reset, with especially at these prices. Because, just right here, the 250, if you blow this one and then you fail, it only costs 100 to reset and try again. But if you go out there and buy 151 again, well, then you're paying 252 again. So yeah, definitely don't go and buy another $150,000 account if you blow it up. Just reset it for $100, because I'm assuming you can see the math there. $100 is quite a bit less than 252. I am new in your channel. Can you tell me where do you train in the crypto or somewhere else? No, I'm trading futures, because futures, crypto is pure garbage. Crypto is pure and utter garbage compared to the world of futures and Pam's plant. Okay, cool, Andrew. So you're saying BDTX. First off, Andrew, nothing but respect. Sometimes like, well, that was mean to say. I'm out of here, the big meanie head. I appreciate you being able to take something and then open to hearing out. So let's go look at BDTX. I'm going to show you why trading these sorts of stocks are just just a waste of time. Waste of time and capital. So BDTX. So right now, this is a 30-minute time frame. We're looking at about, let's just call it $2 a share. So if you want, in order to, so think about this distance here. So let's say, and let's just, to keep the math easy, let's just say that this is $2. So in order to get $2,000, or I'm sorry, in order to get, some money, let's just say that this thing has to move up here, and let's just call that 50 cents. So this is, so this would be $2.50. So that is a 50-cent move, okay? Now to make any sort of real money with, shares in this price range, you're gonna probably want at least $1,000, or I'm sorry, not 1,000 shares. Let's just call it 500 shares. You're gonna want 500 shares. So let's do some math real quick, and I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence, but so if shares are trading at $2 a piece and you want 500 of them, multiply that by 500, you're going to need at least $1,000, okay? $1,000 to get into the game. And if you do get this 50-cent move, and this is the very important part, I want you to keep in mind this distance. This distance from here, where you bought, to here, where you sold. So this distance, just keep that in your mind. But right there, if you do get that 50-cent move, then, well, you have 1,000 shares. And if you make, or I'm sorry, you have 500 shares. So if you make 50 cents per share, so let's times 50, you made $250, okay? So it required you to have $1,000, and it required you to have a move of about that distance right there to make $250. So let's keep all that in mind. Now let's move over to the futures, and let's take a look at that distance here. So we'll go, in fact, I'm going to make it more conservative. Let's just go from here to there, that distance right there. So if you look over at these numbers, this number or these numbers right here, there is a distance between these numbers of 20. And in the world of futures, things are measured in points. So in other words, that is a 20-point move, 20 points, okay? So in the world of futures and this specific contract, 1 point equals $20, okay? 1 point equals $20. That distance right there, as I just pointed out, was 20 points. So let's do some math here. So we have 20 points, and each one of those points, as described, represents $20. So this movement, that space, remember the space of the other one, a whole lot bigger than this, but that space was worth $400. But there's still something that you could overcome this. Okay, Clay, yeah, but how much money would have been required on your part? Because, yeah, for all we know, if it cost you $10,000, then your argument kind of falls apart, because I was able to make $250 using only $1,000 on my stock. But so that is a fair critique. So how much would it cost to be able to buy just one contract? Because one contract per point is $20. So just one contract. How high would that, or how much money would need to be required? Well, with Pam's plant, And the prop firm, you could go and buy one contract. I mean, technically speaking, you could up to 3, but just for this $400 example to play out, all you needed was one contract. But with this, you could have gotten up to 3 of those. But for how much? $105. So do you see how the capital makes no sense with stocks? You're working way harder than stocks, using way more money, needing way bigger price movements, where you could just hop over to the world of futures through a prop firm, and there you go. Not to mention, in that example, if BDTX were to just spike down, well, that's all your money. That's your money taking the loss. In this situation, if there's some sort of crazy move, yeah, you may fail the test, and they'll take the account away from you, but it was still only 105. So hopefully, Andrew, that makes sense. And to everybody else that was maybe on the fence, that's why I say stocks are pure and utter garbage. They're a waste of capital compared to futures. Well, not quite the back test and go. I traded stocks. I've traded options. Futures are it. Yeah, thank you, Hoover. So yet another person who's coming from the world of stocks and options and is like, yeah, no, futures is definitely where it's at. Personally, for me, crypto is. All right, looks like I'm back again. Internet, absolutely ridiculous. Well, here's a back test here. As I was talking about, it's back tested. Will it go? I like more so the first back test. So when it's a second one like this, doesn't mean it can't work, but yeah. So I don't think I will be trading today, maybe. It's a shame you were at 120 viewers. Are you serious? Man, that's a bummer. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give the company a call. Why is my internet sporadically going out? Trying to live stream here. Yeah, and I don't know, something's going on with the Iowa internet. But I'm on fiber, or I'm on like whatever the super fast one is too, because I'm in a neighborhood. Oh, that's disappointing. Again, as for those of you that have been around, we've been talking about the back test and go. So here is the back test. Now the question is, will it go? But as I was also saying, I'm more of a fan of like the first back test. So this is where kind of I like the more so the move, but it never did quite hit it exactly. So it pulled back and then went back up. I'm not saying that this one can't work, but like I said, for me, I'm not necessarily as big of a fan. Man, I was at a bummer. Although yesterday we hit a record for concurrent viewers at 130. Now, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Well, I believe you, YouTube, because my internet provider has apparently gone pure garbage. I don't know. Maybe I don't. Maybe I should just reboot my monitor or modem. I don't know. So it sounds like the quality is probably a little bit less now. You're back to 100 viewers already. Well, that's good. So yeah, as I was saying, this back test and go, I'm not a big fan of the second pullback. Because in all actuality, I mean, you could be making an argument that this was some kind of double top here. But yeah, the first one, it's still technically speaking, didn't really work out. Because I mean, if you're waiting for the support, it never did quite hit that support. But yeah, now with this pullback here. So Andrew, did you all get my explanation on why stocks, trading below the $10 is garbage? Did my internet cut off before I could finish that explanation? I don't know if a reboot's going to do anything just because of because it's my internet literally just going out and then coming back on. So I guess it might happen again. We heard you before it cut out. Okay, whew. Good. Thank you, Raspberry. So now as it pulls back, really kind of just a question. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. It served its purpose for now. But where are some potential areas? Now, one way you could play this, if you think that this is pulled back enough, I could see, again, this is just me thinking out loud. You buy there, stop down there, but that's all going to depend. If this candle gets more red, then that's going to change the risk profile on it. So you got to factor that in. Explanation was good. Okay, good, Andrew. I'm glad that made sense to you. Thank you for being open-minded. That's a good skill to have. Unfortunately, too many people in this world, you say something that they disagree with, and I'm taking my ball and going home. It's like, well, if you just hear me out, maybe you still disagree with me, but at least we can have an open discussion. So I appreciate that. Again, if you are enjoying, hit that like button. Although I understand if you don't hit it, we've had 2 outages now because my internet is being squirrely. And I keep looking down at it. But yeah, if you are enjoying, please hit that like button. That helps out. So again, one way, if you kind of want some confirmation, because if you're just buying a pullback, like for example, if you're just going to buy there, I mean, you could get an amazing entry point if it does go down there and bounces, but you really don't have any confirmation. You're basically buying into a freight train coming at you. But I can see why you may think the freight train stops there because you have a moving average. Or you can wait for a little bit of confirmation. But if you wait for confirmation, so if you're buying when the price is up here, you're not getting the perfect entry point, but at least you have some confirmation. You have some suggestion that the price is going back upwards. So that's kind of the name of the game right now. And again, I'm not saying either one is right or wrong. I'm just saying what makes you feel most comfortable, because everything's got trade-offs, right? If you're buying here, you could get a great entry point. But the trade-off is you don't really have any confirmation. But if you're buying up here, yeah, the trade-off is you're getting some confirmation because the price is coming up, but you're not getting as good as of an entry point. So give and take, give and take. How long do I fast for? Are you new to fasting? Because I've been doing it for like almost 10 years now. So I'm kind of the exception. I'm kind of out there on my own little category. Thanks for everything, Clay. I have to take off. Great stream as always. Well, Mike, please sign up for the Prop Firm account, Mike, and hopefully use my code, CLAY, all caps. So how would people here? Would you feel more comfortable buying down at the moving average, or would you feel more comfortable waiting for it to come up and give you some sort of confirmation? Curious. What are your thoughts on that? Always interesting to see what different people are thinking. And then on the 5 minute, so I'm curious, what are these levels here? So here's a 5 minute. 5 minute, the 21 EMA is valued at, we'll call it 876. What is this valued at? All right, 867. So if these were like the exact same value, that would have been amazing, but they're not quite the exact same value. Well, no, that's not what I'm asking, Casey. I'm not asking, I know the trend is there. I'm asking what would you do with your entry point? Would you buy here, or would you wait for it to come up and start to show you some sort of confirmation and then get in? I will for sure, buddy. Excellent, Mike. Well, hopefully we'll see you on the live stream again. Got a support to the left. Yeah, maybe right around there, I'm guessing is what you're saying. But yeah, right now, just the bleed. Is the code for only 1 month or until I blow or pass the account? Like 119 every month? It's every month. But Francisco, please just pass the test within a month. I don't want you to have to pay 119 again. Because once you get into the pro account, there's no more monthly fees. So do your best to get that passed on the first try. Not on the first try, but within 30 days. What's a 15-minute looking like? Yeah, 15-minute kind of out in the middle of no man's land right now. I mean, yeah, if you're a believer in the trend still. So again, here, do you do something like, Are you getting long right now and then you have a stop below those lows? I don't know. That's what I mean by confirmation. At least you're getting a green candle here. That suggests it could keep going up, but you are having to buy higher than if you're, buying, right down there and as the price goes there. I think it's about to bounce back up. So for those of you that are here, I'd like to put on some trades so I can show you the movement and all that, but my internet situation has got me a little bugged out. I want to give it some more time to see if it can stay on, and if we can put together some more time of it staying on and not cutting off, then yeah, I'll try to make a trade, if anything, just to illustrate the bare minimum of movement, the bare minimum of volatility that you could expect. Needs to make a candle high or low. So I don't mind this setup at all. I could see somebody wanting to buy at where my crosshair is right here. No, I take that back, because you can't put a stop loss right here, because now your stop loss is right above the 50 period moving average. That's a bit sketchy. But yeah, if we can get a couple more candles, let this 50 period catch up to the price, I could see something like that. So we need a couple more candles to go sideways here, because that's a moving average. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher, and then all of a sudden you basically have a trend line where you could have yourself a very minimal risk profile, and then if you do get the bounce, then relative to what was being risked, you could be looking at an interesting situation. But right now it's hard, because if you go long here and then you put your stop loss below the lows, now all you're doing is you're putting your stop loss right above the 50 period moving average, which is a possible bounce point. And from a long side, you don't want your stop losses above areas that could provide a bounce. So that's what's kind of sketchy about that one. Man, I'm so bummed about the internet going out like that. We were cruising. We had up over 100 concurrents. I was telling people, been live streaming now for about a month and a half or so. Yesterday was a record. Concurrent viewers at 130, and we were cruising, and then my internet cut out. My goal right now is 150. I'm going to go with at 25 increments. So my new goal is 150 concurrent, and then after that, 175. Ultimately, though, I'm very curious. Could I get this up to 1,000 people? I don't know. It's exciting for me, though. It's it's new, so it's kind of like a new challenge. Can I get this up to 1,000 people? Maybe that's a pipe dream. Maybe I'm smoking meth thinking that. I don't know, but it's new. It's exciting. Let's say you bought here. You could always add if it hit the MA line. You could do that. Yep, you could do that and then put a stop relatively close to right there. So now this is what I mean. Do you just get long somewhere like right here? And again, this is not advice. It's just me just thinking out loud. But, do you get long somewhere right there and then you got your stop below the 50 period? That's not. But if you get a nice bounce, you could be looking at some good upside potential relative to what's being risked. Again, if you are enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. Let's try to get this up to 100 likes. Keep that streak going. That's it. Break EMA stop, buy order. Well, getting a push upwards here. Yeah, and by no means am I saying this thing's headed up to this area, but I mean, you look in the chart, there's really no major areas of resistances that suggest. So I mean, I could realistically see this thing making a push up to these highs again. But gotta see, is this candle going to maintain itself, or is this going to be one of these that comes up, acts like it wants to be strong, and then pull back? But 21 EMA proving to be I think a worthwhile area if we look over here on the 5-minute. So earlier on in the day, did a great job forecasting support. And then right here. Now, did it hit it exactly? It did not. But hopefully we can all agree. It certainly got within the general vicinity. So 21 EMA, there are no holy grails, but is it worth something that maybe to at least consider? Yeah, I think so. Consider putting on your chart. Alan just jumped on. Once I sign up with Take Profit Trader, do I use my platform or do they have one? Oh, good question, Alan. So if you were to sign up with Take Profit Trader, which I think you should, during the checkout process, they'll ask you what platform do you want to use, and then I'm using Tradeovate. But the nice thing here is that if you pick Tradeovate, they will go and sign up. They'll go through the sign up process for you. They'll create everything so you get to save the hassle of having to get signed up for another platform, sign up for another broker. None of that, because the checkout phase here, very straightforward, and then they will send you your login information. So they'll send you your username, send you your password, and then you would just log directly in to Tradeovate. But very good question, Alan. Triple top. Yeah, I mean, there could be some sort of triple top. Although, I mean, I don't know. Is that trend line there going to mean anything? We'll keep an eye on it. Hoover's adding one. I think Hoover's trading ES though right now. So what we're also looking, or what? Yeah. So there we have a resistance. Whoops, I gotta. Okay, come on now. Let's just. Okay, if I was not a buffoon, I'd be able to put in a line here. So there is a resistance level right there. And then if we use our moving average as the lower trend line, what we're basically getting here is, so there's our resistance. Again, if we're using that as our as our trend line, we're essentially in the early phases of a potential ascending triangle pattern, which is a bullish pattern. Does not mean it's going to go up, just that it's a bullish pattern. So are we going to be seeing something like this that eventually gets the breakout? Of course, you could be saying, well, or is this a bear pennant that's about to get the breakdown? Like I said, I'm leaning more towards potentially some sort of ascending triangle, but would I call you crazy if you're thinking, no, I think this is a bear pennant and I'm interested in getting short right there? I want to call you crazy. I see the rationale. And that's the end of the game. That's the main goal. Is if you're just out there doing random things, that's not so good. But you got to have at least some logic behind your decisions. So maybe I would disagree to play the bear pennant breakdown, but I'd at least see and appreciate the fact that you have logic. But right now it seems to be more so, again, if we use that as a top part of the pattern and then use our moving average as our bottom trend line, have basically an ascending triangle here. So we'll see kind of how that continues to play out. Shayam, can we upgrade our account in the future? I.e., if I have a 50,000 account, if I pass the trial phase in 3 months, I want to upgrade to the 150 account. Yeah, you need to pass the test for the 150 because that's a whole different set of parameters. You have more purchasing power and all of that. So no, that'd be two apples and oranges on their end. You need to you would need to prove to yourself that you can handle that amount of buying power because 150 compared to 50, obviously not the same. Clay, one of your early 300 lifetime members. Hey, awesome. Glad to see you live trading futures. So you've been around a long time because I started the site back in 2013. So you, sir, have been, or I guess ma'am, I don't know what you are, but awesome. Yes, sir. All right, that's great. That's great. I assume you're trading futures. So let me ask you this: were you trading anything? Were you trading anything before futures? And if so, what were those things that you were trading? If you are enjoying, hit that like button. So if you're just kind of joining the stream, that's essentially what we're looking at right here, the ascending triangle. Do you get a break of the ascending triangle and then at least test the top part? And then, of course, if you can break that trend line there, is that the break that really gets this thing moving back upwards? We'll have to see what happens. I don't like these arrows because now if somebody gets logged down, they're going to think that I'm saying, oh, if it breaks there, it's going to do that. But if you heard what I just said, you know that's not what I said. So we'll just start afresh here with the pattern. So again, using that as a top part of the pattern and then just using our moving average as the lower part of the pattern. So there we go. My courses have been, or your courses have been the foundation to my trade. Awesome. I'm glad my courses helped you out. Sounds like years ago. Years ago. For those of you that are maybe new, yes, I've been in the, and I've had an online presence since I think 2007. I started the website in 2013. Started the YouTube channel in 2013, but I'm basically brand new to streaming. So that's why I mean it's kind of a new thrill, right? It's kind of a new challenge. Yeah, I've grown the YouTube channel and stuff like that. Have a good quality community, but this is my fun. All right, approaching it. So I don't know if you think it's gonna get some follow through on the breakout. If you like ascending triangles, if you think this is an ascending triangle, maybe you think I'm breaking rules by using that moving average as a trend line. But that's kind of some things to think about that you're gonna have to consider. Does it get up through there? It's knocking on the door. And if it does get through there, again, no guarantees, but I would not call you irrational to think that a break of the ascending triangle here gives you a chance to do battle with that upward trend line right there. But yeah, that is the question that you have to decide. Are you a believer, or are you know, maybe there's some shorts thinking, no. I'm looking for failure down here. Because think about it right now. From a psychology standpoint, if the price were to now drop down to that lower trend line, how would you feel as a long? I think longs would feel pretty demoralized. I think they would feel pretty sad. So to see the price then drop all the way down and then break that, I can see some longs waving the white flag saying, I'm done, this piece of garbage. Come on, you were right at the top. What do you mean you gave back, right? All the move up to give back all the gains. Again, put yourself in the other team's shoes. If you're a long right now, how would you, and maybe you are a long, but even if you're not, if you're a long and you bought maybe down here and you saw this big move, and then you saw that move totally wiped away, and then you saw the price break down through that trend line, how would you feel as a long? If it were me, I'd be like, you piece of garbage, I'm out, forget you, see you later. And that sort of attitude, that seems like a good area for shorts to be maybe building trade plans around. So that's the psychology right there. Is this going to be more, so we'll call it the demoralization? Ooh, yeah. Again, you got to think, are longs getting demoralized? No, again, there's no guarantees, but just kind of thinking through the story, you got to think that there's some long. And I mean, imagine the longs that were buying, trying to anticipate the breakout. It never did break out, but anticipating the breakout. You got to think they're feeling pretty demoralized right now. And you got to ask, where do you think those people become demoralized to the point of they just want to wave the white flag and abandon the trade? And that trend line right there, which is again is representing that 50-period moving average, I could see that being a spot where they're like, nope, I'm done, I'm out. So as a short, the goal is to try to figure out those areas on the chart. Where do I think the longs are going to be all disappointed and burned out and angry and frustrated? Because that's where I want in. That's where I want in. I want in when the longs are all upset, all sad, all frustrated. And then, of course, the longs are doing the same thing. The longs should be asking yourself, where on the chart would the shorts be like, you piece of garbage? Man, I'm done. And then that, from a long standpoint, that'd be a good spot to get long, right? So sometimes just trying to figure out what the other team, how would they be. So right here, we're at that line. In fact, let me just get that out. So is this going to be the demoralization point? Right here, you got, think about it. The price was just up at that line, rejected. People that were trying to anticipate it. People that, were buying down here, saw the great move. That move's been wiped away. Is this going to be what demoralizes them? Or are there still enough people down here at these lows that are going to help support? We'll see, but I can realistically see. But it is still at the 50 period. But if this gets some more movement to the downside here, I can see that being the straw that breaks the longs' backs. They're like, nope, I'm done. I don't know, Casey. I don't track that. Casey, I'm getting a little skeptical of you. The first thing you show up is, did you blow up your $50,000 account when I'm not even trading a $50,000 account? And the first thing you ask me, did you blow it up? I'm getting a little skeptical of you. Are you a troll, Casey? Let me just hit you straight up. Are you a troll? I'm starting to think that you may be a troll. Again, are they going to get demoralized? I can see it. Like I said, no guarantees, but this is why I would never call a short crazy for building a trade plan around that. Because I get it. I get it. I can see why they're thinking what they are. But yeah, are the longs demoralized? That is the question. I think it will be, but false. So you think this will be a false breakdown? We'll see what happens. But right now it's looking like the longs are not feeling so good. These lows here have been violated. Now, the one thing to keep in mind is, remember on the 5-minute, talking about that 21 EMA, it's basically right at the 21 EMA. So is the 21 EMA on the 5-minute going to be the knight in shining armor? Is it going to ride to the rescue of the demoralized longs? We shall see. Like I said, this one has had a track record of being well respected. We'll have to see what happens. But like I said, that's what I like to do. That's what I would encourage you to do. Ask yourself, look at the chart. Where is longs? Where are the shorts? Where are they going to be feeling like really demoralized? Where are they going to be feeling, or on the, I mean, where are shorts? Where are longs going to be feeling very happy? Maybe too happy, right? Try to put yourself in the other team's shoes. Is it true 80% of day traders lose money? No, that is not true. It's more like 90%. Day trading is hard. It's very hard. But that is also why I argue that prop firms give people more of a chance, because it allows people to, it allows people to just stick around and survive longer. Nope, getting a bit of a bounce. Now, if this comes back down, this could truly be the thing that just is the nail in the coffin. Because think about it from a longs perspective. Okay, there we go. There we go. The fifth, the 21 EMA and the 5 minute. There we go. There we go. But if this comes back down, oh man, that would be very demoralizing. But yeah, Tony, no. And that's why I like prop firms, because during the learning phase, you can survive a lot longer. Your money, so let's just say you have $1,000. Your $1,000 can go a lot further if you're only risking 105 of it, which would be the cost of a prop firm account, versus if you do something stupid and you lose 1,500, well, there you go. Your account's gone. You have no more to work with. So day trading is hard, and day trading is hard because people don't like to focus on managing risk. People want to focus on how much money you can be made. But again, that's where Pam's plant. That's where futures with a prop firm pushes people to need to focus on risk control right from the get-go. Blown accounts are part of it. You're going to fail a test. That's part of it. But also part of it is each failed test is very minimal compared to had you been using your real money and then taking a multi-$1,000 loss. Oh, okay. Actually, Tony K, I misread. Is it true 80% of day traders lose money? I assumed you meant lose money in the sense of they never have success. But if you mean just like do they lose money? Then that is definitely false, because 100% of day traders lose money in the sense of, yeah, losing trades are part of it. Uh-oh. Again, ask yourself, if you're long, that movement right there would have probably had you feeling pretty good. Now you got to be thinking, uh-oh. But in all actuality, shorts that took the short right there, I mean, how many points have they gotten? So they've already had a chance at over 10 points, which on the NQ, not bad. But again, I think probably a short would need a little bit more push down through before they can start lowering stops down. Maybe they've started to lower it down a little bit. But yeah, so there we go. More to the downside. If you are enjoying, please hit the. Can we make a little surge up to 75 likes? I mean, let's get this up to 75. We'll do it little increments at a time. But if you are enjoying, and also if you appreciate the commentary, I mean, let me know. Is this helpful? Does it seem like you're learning? I have not taken any live trades. Oh, which reminds me, I still got to go over my day. Have not done any live trades because I've had some internet issues. But I will say the internet, we're on a streak. The internet has not gone out. Steve, are you going to take a trade or are you just yapping? I'm just yapping for right now, Steve. Steve, are you a puppet? Are you wanting me to take a trade so you can follow it like a blind sheep? Or are you just asking? So are you a blind, lazy sheep, Steve? And you want to just follow me into a trade blindly because you're too lazy to think for yourself? Or are you just asking? Just asking? Good. But Steve, maybe you just logged on, but I've had my internet go off twice on me so far. So I'm a little skeptical today. But I will say I'm glad you are not a blind, lazy sheep, Steve. I'm glad to hear that you think for yourself. Ain't no way these people are real. Oh, no, they're real. No, and to be fair, I'll give people benefit of the doubt. Sometimes people maybe, come across a little rough around the edges, but no. The trampoline play. And yeah, I mean, I'm yapping, but what I'm yapping about is, I mean, to be fair, people heard me talk. I mean, I was like, yeah, this could be a short. I went over the story, demoralization, and yeah, this has been over a 10-point short if anybody took it. Can I find somehow that I registered through your promo code or link to make sure TPT will not charge switching fees from test to pro account? Rav Sean, did you get the 30% off when you joined? That'd be my first question, and then we'll take it from there. Tony K, I'm 56 years old and retiring in 4 months. Congratulations on your retirement. Where do I start to learn about trading? Comes down. Well, I am biased, Tony, but you asked, so I'm going to give you my answer. If you want to learn from me, if you like what I have to offer, then I offer this. It is not a magic system. It is not a holy grail. It is nothing like that. I am selling organization. I am selling a learning process, a system to learn, because the internet is a very overwhelming place and it's very easy. And there we go. Pure demoralization. There we go. The story is playing out. So no magic systems. I'm not selling a holy grail, but if you want information organized in a way so that you can learn about it in a way that's going to make the most sense, then that is what I'm selling. It is possible for you to go out there and, if you don't know anything about math, sure, you could go out there and somehow cherry pick all the correct information about math. But even if you're somehow able to luck out and pick out all the proper bits of information about math, if you don't know what order you should learn about math in, you're going to be it's going to be rough, right? If you start learning about addition and then you go learn about calculus and then you learn about trigonometry and then you learn about division and then you learn about differential equations and then you learn about multiplication, you're going to be like, yeah, you have all the right information, but if you learn about it in the wrong order, it's going to be painful. So again, I do not sell anything magical, but I sell a process of learning. I am a process engineer by degree. My program has been fine-tuned over 10 years now. Started it back in 2013, and I've listened to feedback over the years. So my entire training program has over a decade of constructive criticism put into it so I could fine-tune it. And yeah, that's what I would recommend. Why do you only shoot for 10 points? I use a similar strategy as yours and shoot for 30. We trade this. Vang, I don't know where you got that I shoot for 10 points. Maybe you're asking somebody else. All I was saying is that movement there was 10 points. And once you get 10 points in the world of NQ, you start to get some flexibility within your trade plan. Do I want to bring down the stop? Do I maybe want to pull some contracts off? That was my only point. If you get up to 10 points, I can see if somebody was like, yeah, I had 3 contracts and I pulled one off at 10 points. I can see that. But no, I think you misheard what I was saying. I was not saying that I only, quote unquote, only shoot for 10 points. Nowhere did I even come really close to saying that. All I did was I pointed out that was over a 10-point move. Clay runs it on a business and as a stand-up guy, of course, teach you the fun one. Thanks, great. Appreciate the kind words. Been with Clay since 2014. Yeah, you're an old-timer too, Matt. Well worth the money, Tony. Are you going to be live training during FOMC? No, because I'm not a degenerate. Let me give everybody a hard truth. If you are trading during FOMC, you are a degenerate because you don't know what the market's going to do. The market could literally be doing this and then in a heartbeat, boom. I'm waiting for my concurrent viewers to just drop now because but yes, somebody needs to be honest with you and tell you. You are a degenerate gambler if you are trading during the FOMC. No, I'll soften it. If you're trying to do some sort of prop firm strategy where you've looked at your numbers and it's like, okay, I'm going to risk these accounts to try to pass them, then okay, I'll back off a little bit. I do understand that strategy. But if you're just like, hey, I just like to trade during FOMC because it's pure bonkers. Okay, well then you're just a degenerate because you're not really going to be able to form any sort of rational trade plan because, especially during the speech, right? Jerome Powell says one word and it could totally change everything in the other direction. So that's a lot of degenerates are, that's where I like to figure out where are the degenerates at? The people that are like, I can't wait for FOMC. I'm just going to go long and see what happens. Okay, that's fine. You can do that. All I ask is please don't tell yourself that you were trading that day. You were gambling. That's why I can't stand when people are like, oh, you're a day trader. So you're a gambler. I'm like, no. Now, can day trading be treated as gambling? Yes, 100%. But does that mean that trading is gambling? No. Just because I can treat as a hammer as a weapon, is it actually a weapon? I mean, it can be, but it could also just be a tool to like build stuff. But yeah, I still remember one time my mom was telling somebody at her work, like, oh yeah, my son does day trading. And then my mom called me and was all worried. I told so-and-so that you're a day trader. And they said, oh, that's just gambling. And I was just like, oh, people are so stupid. Some people are so stupid. And a lot of the times, the people that call day trading gambling, they've tried day trading, but they don't know what they're doing. So it appears as gambling because they're actually not thinking for themselves. And then they fail at it, but they don't want to be like, blame themselves. Be like, yeah, I failed at it because I didn't really put any effort into it. But I don't want to tell people that. It's gambling. It's all random. Now, there are moments like FOMC where that is true. Like, nobody knows what's going to happen. Therefore, it's a total gamble. Prices can spike. And then all of a sudden, and a second later, they can be all the way back down here. But there we go. Can you tell me who sent me off on that rant? Who was that? B. Morcos. You dirty dog sending me off on those rants. I just tell them I'm a gambler. They leave me alone. I leave them alone. I mean, I guess that is a solution, Dan. Touche, sir. Touche. 81 likes. Let's get up to, come on, 19 more. Yes, I used Clay's 30% off and bought for 105. Okay, then you're good. If you got the 30% off, then you will not be charged the activation fee. You are good to go. Based off the mere fact that you got the 30% discount, then the rest of the deal is locked in. Clay, still confused about max daily profit on 50K test, okay? The max daily profit is, so what is your profit target for the 50K test? I'm gonna let you think through this and prove that you can figure it out. So Jalil, on your 50,000 test, what is your overall profit goal to pass the test? Now, for people that are looking to get a little bit more spicy, we got ourselves a little spicy trend line here. Do you buy the trend line? Like I said, that's spicy. That's getting real spicy, but if this does indeed release the bulls, we'll see. Spicy trend line, I self-admit it. But you could buy the breakout. You have a well-defined stop right here, so pretty minimal risk. But like I said, that's a spicy trend line for sure. That's getting aggressive. That's getting aggressive, but only you can determine that. No, Jalil, listen to what I'm asking you. What is your total profit goal to pass the test? The $50,000 account says, here's your profit target to pass the test. What is that number? Nope, there's the break. I'm heavily invested in ETFs. Exciting to learn about day trading, even though I probably might lose money at it. Well, you're going to lose money, but losing money is part of it. You can't always be right. You just got to lose money in a smart way. And that's what my program is teaching you how to do. How to lose money, how to manage risk. So you will lose money, but the goal is you want to lose less money than you're making. But yes, losing money is part of it. Okay, there we go, Jalil. 3,000. So what is 50% of 3,000? What is 50% of that number? I'd wait for a stronger setup. Yeah, no, that's why I call that spicy. That's spicy because that's aggressive. And it already may have failed because if you're using those lows, depending on how much wiggle room, I'm not going to call it a failure yet because, I mean, yeah, that's basically at those lows. But yeah, there's a reason why that was a spicy trend line. Do you miss using e-signal? I do not. Nope. Technology has just caught up so much more where like to pay whatever I was paying, I don't remember what it was, $2,500 a year, I think. It might not have been that much. But no, technology has caught up where people are offering, I don't want to say just as good of charts, but the difference is negligible. Negligible for me. So there you go, Jalil. That is the amount that you're allowed to make in a day. Right there. Uh-oh. We got in all caps. I always get nervous when people are yelling at me. Clay Trader, my account keeps selling and buying by itself and blow. What can I do to regain my account? Are you forgetting to press this button? Would be my first question. I've had that where I forgot to press the exit all, and then I leave orders out there, and then it starts buying and selling without me. And I'm thinking, what's going on? You know, I'm doing something, then you hear order filled. And it's like, wait, what? In fact, I had that happen to me a couple times last week. So that's what I'm guessing is going on, QC. I don't think your account is just randomly starting to buy and sell stuff. I do think you probably are leaving orders out there. And that's why tip number one, learn to love that button. Press it. Press it all the time. As soon as a trade is done, go up and press it. Because it's very easy to leave orders out there. And then, yes, your account will appear to be buying and selling randomly. No, I just open it and do it. Okay, well, there's something that you're doing wrong. Because I can assure you your account is not just randomly buying and selling. Okay, yes. To be fair, I didn't factor in the, if you're using a trade copier, maybe. Okay, but in 5 days, it will be like 7,500 more than the 3,000 if we... Well, that's why all you want to do is get up to... All you want to do, Jalil, get up to $3,001. That's all. That's all you got to do. You don't need to... Because after you hit 3,000, anything more that you're trading during that 5 days... You're taking on unnecessary risk. So just get up to the 3,000 or get up to the $3,001. And then that's it. So in the ideal world, Jalil, you would have 2 days where you take, and both those days you make 1,500 each and you're at 3,000. And then the rest of the 3 days you do just little micro scalps. Buy and sell. That way it logs it as a trade and you're good to go. Yeah, yep. Again, spicy trend line. No bueno. But yeah, that was a nice little formation right there, lows. Now, here is the big thing to consider. We are approaching the 50-period moving average on the 5-minute. Is that going to be the bounce point? I'm not calling any longs crazy. Because you know shorts are looking at that too, and shorts are thinking, uh-oh. What do you think a short is saying? Oh, no. They're saying, I think that could be a bounce point. So because it could be a bounce point, a short may start to be like, I better take off some profits right there. And a short's got to buy to cover, right? Because when you exit a short, you are buying. So if a bunch of people are buying there, even if the buyers right there are shorts from up here that are now starting to take off profits because they're scared of that 50-period moving average, you get enough buying there, and then you have longs buying there, yeah, you could get a bounce. Well, that just sounds like... So the only reason it bounced was because of a bunch of shorts got scared and started buying. Isn't that like a self-fulfilling prophecy? Yep. That's what a lot of charting and trading is. Self-fulfilling prophecies. That's why I always laugh when people are like, charts are a scam. Charts don't work. It's just self-fulfilling prophecies. It's like, okay, well, you just conceded that self-fulfilling prophecies exist. So if self-fulfilling prophecies exist, wouldn't it be smart to know what those self-fulfilling prophecies are? I just make 1,500 on day one and 2 minus the commissions. Then I just trade micro the remaining 3 days for 10, 20 bucks a day. Yeah, exactly, Mark. I'm not copying no one. I disconnect but go down. I listing some clay chart advice, but I'm not giving advice here, QC. I'm not giving advice. But no. Okay, so we know that QC is not copy trading because he thinks when you say copy, he thinks that we mean that like he's copying me. Yeah, I would say you need to just get in touch with Ninja Trader then. Be like, hey, Ninja Trader, my account is randomly just buying and selling. Come on, 13 more likes. 13 more likes. If you are enjoying, if you appreciate the commentary. Will the volume be low until FOMC? Yeah, volume is usually tend to be a little bit lower. But, I mean, there's still plenty of, still there's plenty of opportunities within all of this. All right, I think I'm getting close to. I'll put on a trade because I know. Let me ask this: of the people here who have never seen a futures trade, so that's either because you've heard of futures but have never traded them, or you've never even heard of futures. Who has never seen a futures trade? Give me a 5 in the chat box. Curious. 5 in the chat box. Okay. Ultra, Yash. I'm new here. I seen it all. Okay, well then you would not be a 5. So one of the great things about futures from Pam's plant is this right here. Futures have great movement, but the key that separates it from so many other things is your ability to control it. Yes, you can control the movement as you're going to see, but it requires more money out of your wallet. Not so with Pam's plant, not so with a prop firm. So just, that's what I want to show you here. I am going to show you the bare minimum of what you could expect movement-wise. So when I take a trade, what I want you to watch is this number down here. And I just want you to ask yourself, how do you feel about how that number moves? Okay? Let's see. So if this wants to come down, actually, let's get a little bit more. So down here, I'm going to get short, and I'll put my stop right here. So, okay, I'm in. Okay, so the goal here is to watch this. Oh, no, I'm on the wrong thing. On the wrong thing. I was supposed to be doing the MNQ. Okay. So watch that other number, and it's going to be a whole lot more volatile than what I actually wanted. This is not what I was expecting. Okay, I think I made money on that. All right. So here's, okay, look, and I forgot. I almost forgot. Look, my order is still out there because I did not go up there and click that button. Click. Now that order's gone. Okay. So here's a learning lesson. Within the platform, there are 2 types of contracts. One is has a lot of movement, which is what you just saw. So if you're watching that number and saying, whoa, 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 that was moving quite a bit. Now, if you were watching that number and saying, no, that was barely moving, that's fine. All you would have to do is go up to that number and make it higher. And that number would get and start to move very, very, that much quicker than what you saw. But if you're looking at that number and saying, whoa, 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 futures is way too crazy. Here's the first lesson in platforms. There are 2 types. I would recommend starting with MNQ, not the NQ. What? Oh, see, and that's why I don't love this, but it was too much. It was too much risk. Look at that. Oh, if I was on the other type, I'd still be in. I'd be doing great on that one. But yeah, the NQ, that was not what I was expecting. That is not what I meant. So you want to start, though, with the MNQ. But what I forgot to do is I forgot to look up here and realize that I was still on the NQ tab. I needed to be on the MNQ tab. So let's go over there. And now this will be much slower. So that was 7 more likes. Oh, man. But like I said, I was not expecting that. It was too much risk because those are too volatile. So that I couldn't hang on. I was just like, just get me a little bit of green, and then I'll do this again. But all right, now we're on what I want. So this is the bare minimum of movement that you could expect. And when you look down here and see how this moves, if you're saying that is too slow for me, just understand that the solution would be you could come up here and change that number and make it higher. How higher? Well, I'll get to that in a little bit. But so yeah, let's do this. I'm going to buy if it goes up through there. And then I'll just put my stop down here. Where are we at account-wise? $48, very good. I want to stay. So here's what I'm not willing to risk any more than $48. Reason for that is so today, I got to go over today. Somebody remind me to go over today. So just the mere fact I'm up 548 is I don't want to say a miracle, but I'm very pleased with it. I do not want to have a day lower than 500. So that tells me if I don't want to have a day lower than 500 and I'm up $48, my risk moving forward is $48. Hopefully that makes sense, everybody. But again, for me to be mentally happy with today, I want at least 500. I'm at 548. Therefore, that's telling me that I can risk $48 on this trade. So, but again, I'm just doing this because I want to show people the minimum volatility. Let's get, come on, 7 more likes and we're at 100. Let's go. 7 more likes. If you're enjoying this, if you feel like you're learning, if maybe you're like excited because you never even heard of Pam's plant, futures with a prop firm. All right. So if I go here, that's 62, 52. So that's about a $20 risk. I'll take that. $20 risk. I still got wiggle room. So, and then I'll put my stop right there. There we go. My plan is in. That's about $20 that I'm risking. And as I just showed you through the math, I'm okay if I lose up to $48. Because I want to have at least $500 on the day. And I'm up $548. I'm going to lower it down just a tad bit more. So there we go. Now I have my risk is even less than $20. So this is good. Looking to buy, try to get some sort of bounce. But the main thing I'm doing is I want you to watch this number for people that are new. And if I get filled, ask yourself, how do you feel about the way that number's fluctuating? And if it's too slow for you, I'm not offended, but there's a solution. And that is the M of Pam, or the M of Pam's plan's movement, but the ability to control it. 3 more likes. Let's go. So again, looking for a pullback here. So very tight. My risk is less than $20, but let's just call it $20, which is fine with me because I'm willing to risk up to $48 more on the day so that I can stay over $500 on the day. So that's a little trick in and of itself. Ask yourself, how much money will I still be happy with? So right now I am up $548 on the day, and that means after commissions. And I'm telling myself, well, I would be happy with $500. So we can do some basic math there, subtract that out, which means I have $48 left that I can work with. And that's why I made sure that this risk here did not equate to more than $48. This risk here is basically about $20, but I'm being left behind. So we may have to go back to the drawing board here. Come on, 4 more likes. Let's get it 101. Hit that like button if you're enjoying. You're so patient, bro. I try to be patient. I'm not always great at it. High pucker. Yeah, exactly. How much is the minimum a complete newbie should start trading with? 500 is what I tell people, but 500 will take you very far. As a newbie, I argue you should be starting with a prop firm. So 500, I mean, you can get yourself 5 of these accounts. So that for only a little bit less than 500 accounts. So I would say 500, but really all you would need is 105 to get started. 105 is going to give you $25,000 in buying power, give you some good real-time action, and we're pulling back here. So let's get this trade back on. There's the buy. There's the sell. So yeah, basically $20. So again, if I get filled, watch. Uh-oh. Watch the number right here. That number. Oh, come on. Hit the green line. Look at that. Oh, so close. Okay, I'm going to move it down a little bit more now. I don't know. I'm almost wondering, do I try to get short here now? Yeah, but my stop, let's see, that's 20 points, so that's $40. So I could still make that work, but that stop loss doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'll just have to try to buy the trend line here. And if it flushes, so be it. It's within my risk. So it is what it is. There we go. 50, yeah, all right. So less than a $20 risk, I'll take it. Like I said, I'm not opposed to potentially, but again, watch the number down here and ask yourself, how do you feel about how those numbers trade, assuming I get filled? I would not call you crazy if you're thinking of shorting this, but for me, I don't know where to put the stop in a logical area. Because again, I only have $48 of risk to work with. in order to stay above $500 on the day. And I want to stay above $500 on the day, so I have $48 of risk. And if I'm getting short here and my stop is up here, that's basically 20 points. But if there's a little bit of slippage, then I'm potentially up over $48 and I've violated my overall rule. So that is where I'm just kind of going to play the tread line here, see if we can get a tread line bounce. But if this breaks and flushes, it is what it is. But I could see it also bouncing. Hey, we're over 100 likes. Fantastic. If you like me explaining everything, all the dynamics, hit that like button. Easy way to communicate that to me. Or if you find it kind of annoying, like, dude, just shut your mouth and... What? Oh, come on. All right, now I could potentially take a short if I just have my stop. So if this wants to come up... So let's see, what is that? 86, so that's 14. I could still make that work. All right, what is this? If I get short here, 62, 72, so 62, 72, 80, that's 4, and that's better. I could just get short a little bit higher. So that's what we're going to do. Because if I get short right here, okay, that's about a 10-point risk. So, no, come up to me first. Come up to me first, please, sir. Again, I'm doing all these numbers because I only have $48 to work with, so I need to make sure that... Oh, you dirty rat. I mean, I can't just buy the beginning of a potential trendline flush. It is, okay, it is at the 50. Right here. Does it bounce off the 50? Oh. So that is the problem. I'm being responsible because I'm staying in tune with that $20 or $48, but it just would not afford me to take the short where I wanted to because my risk would have been too big and it would have led to me losing more than 48. So it did not play ball with me enough to be able to... Now I could do something like this. This is would be for sure. So what is that? If I were to buy there, that's 56, 46. So that's okay. There we go. So that's still basically $20. Again, watch the number down there. If I'm able to get filled. Okay, I'm in finally. So watch this number right here and ask yourself, how do you feel about how that's changing? This is the bare minimum of volatility that you could expect. Bare minimum. So if you think this is too slow, that's okay. That is okay. This is just the bare minimum that you could expect. So good. Finally got one on so people can see the movement. And after this, I'll explain how you can control the movement. But right now, just watch that number. Ask yourself, how do you feel about it? And if you're saying, Clay, what are you doing? This is so slow. I'll give you a solution. I'll give you the solution. Yeah, let's see if this thing wants to maybe bounce. Not the greatest trade, but like I said, I'm fine. I know what my risk was, about 20 bucks on it. I got 48 to work with, so for the sake of educational purposes, I'm totally fine with this. But we'll see if we can get a bounce. Yes, I realized I was in the green for a little bit, but I want the numbers to fluctuate a bit longer than that. Again, if these numbers are causing you to fall asleep the way they're fluctuating, I'll give you the solution, but let's just see how this trade turns out first, and I'm out. Okay, so if you're like, that was so slow, fair enough. The solution to that is you would just come up here and you would make that number larger. Now, how large could you make the number? How much would it cost you to make the number? Because right, with stocks, if you want to make your position size larger, well, then that's going to cost you more money from your pocket. But not so in the world of futures with the prop firm. Because with the prop firm, if you're doing, again, I'm doing bare minimum. So that was one contract on one MNQ, one micro. So that was the bare minimum that you could get. But with the $25,000 account, which would cost you $105, you could have changed that number one, you could have changed it as high as 30. As high as 30 at no extra cost. Your cost still stays at 105. But if it was a stock or something else, well, yeah, you need to build. Well, Clay, you can do the same thing. You just add more position size in stock. You buy more shares or whatever. Yeah, but that actually costs you more money out of your pocket. Here, it doesn't. It's 105, and I was at 1. That number could have been 30. But if you're still just saying, boy, I want volatility, boy. Give me that volatility, boy. Then, okay, let's go to the other extreme. Now, for just $100 or $252, that number one that you saw there could have been as high as $150. So do you see what I mean about the M of Pam's plant? Yes, you get great movement, but the hidden thing within prop firm world is your ability to control just how much movement you're going to get within that number. Again, what I showed you was just the bare minimum of what you could expect. And there we go. So how much do I have to, all right, I got $24.50 that I can work with. Again, for those that are just getting logged on, I want to be at least at $500 on the day. So that gives me $24.50 to work with here to take another trade. So let's see if we can finagle ourselves another trade so I can show people numbers, but I can't lose more than, let's just call it basically 20 bucks. So at this point, I mean, I'm not, what is that low? Yeah. I mean, if anything right here, do I buy, because that would give us a tight stop. So do I buy the 200 period, stop down below the VWAP? That one, let's see what would that be. If I go here, so let's just test it out there. And if I put a stop down below, sell, what is that? That's 7.5 points. So that would work. That would work. I know if you're somebody might, Clay, those stops are very tight. I agree. Two reasons. One, I'm doing this just for educational purposes. I want to show people the bare minimum volatility. And two, I only have $24.50 to work with now. So yeah, stops have to be tight because I want to walk away with $500 on the day. So we were at 48, but it got me. But now we'll see what happens. But yeah, do we build out a little miniature bear pennant here? Bear flag, I'm curious about. So if we can get a couple more candles, I could see myself shorting there. If the risk profile stays small enough and allows me to potentially trade and keep it at $20 or less, then I could potentially see myself trading, like I said, is this going to come up a little bit more? Because think about it, there are still some longs out there that are maybe still holding and hoping and thinking, okay, let's get a little bit of a bounce. But what would demoralize them if this little bounce came back down? At that point, you got to think those people are waving the white flag, all done, game over. But yeah, let's see if a bear flag can form here. Nice, at 107 likes. Again, if you are enjoying, if you like the live trading, if you like the commentary, if you like my thought process, hit that like button. That's a very straightforward way to communicate that to me and helps me out. Helps me know what people want. But I don't like taking it short here. I'd like to see a bounce here would be beautiful. Bounce off that line and then come back down. Then we could be cooking with peanut oil. So that's 37. Okay, that's $10. That's $10. So that's basically my risk. Really, I should be doing down these lows here, but then my risk becomes too much. Because if I'm doing it right here, I don't really have the break of the trend line. But I'm thinking, imagine this green candle comes back down. Got to be thinking people are feeling demoralized. 37 to 40. That's a 10-point risk. That's $20. Let's just go for the glory. Okay, we're in. There we go. Okay, let me, what are these orders down here? Whoops. Okay, let's bring this down. So now this is a winning trade no matter what. Watch these numbers down here. Ask yourself, how do you feel about how they're moving? There we go. Winning trade there. You see how easy it is to leave orders out there? I totally forgot about these orders as I'm in the trade. So that was a winning trade. It's very good. Now we have ourselves some more wiggle room. Okay, again, I want to stay at 500. I'm at 533.50 now. So now we have $33.50 to work with. I got way too aggressive on my stop. Way too aggressive, but that's okay. But there we go. Took the short. Got the move down. We went for the glory. Got the glory. Now do I buy here? Yeah. We got a little wiggle room. Let's see what happens here. Again, I'm doing all this because this is the bare minimum of volatility, the bare minimum of movement that you could get. And as I've said, if you're not happy with it, just know you can move that number up. How high can you go? Well, if you go to the far extreme ends of things, you could change that number up here to 150. All right, let's go buy.
Order filled.
Okay. I'll just watch a P&L on this one. So watch this number right here. Can we get a bounce off these areas? I'll just do a mental stop on this one. But just watch that number, and if it's fluctuating too slow for you, please understand there is something that you can do about it. Bounce, bounce, bounce for me. And out there, that was another winning trade. There we go. Just for the sake of showing how these movements are going. So once more, if you did not like how that moved, the M of Pam's plant, movement and ability to control it, you can control it by changing that number. Again, I know I may not be seeing people's questions and all that, but again, $5 Super Chats, make sure that I see your question. Clay, just finished my test of hitting $1,500. What to expect further? Okay, what day is it? What day is it? Good job. Congratulations on passing your test. That's fantastic. But what day within your 5 is it? And how much are you putting to get in the trade? Okay, so that's the other great thing about prop firms. How much is it costing me to make these trades? Well, very little. Very little. Then they do all the numbers for you up front. They tell you right up front what. So if you do the $25,000 of purchasing power, for $105, they're telling you that you can do a max position size of either 3 of the very volatile contracts or 30 of the less volatile contracts. So how much is it costing me to answer your question? That would just depend on what size account you're using. So if you're doing the 25,000 buying power, it would cost you 105. And then you could do up to those sizes. So in other words, that's what I mean. The L of Pam's plant, low capital required. Exactly. That's what I mean by that. Very little capital. They do all the math for you up front. They tell you exactly how much you can buy, how much you can get for whatever you are doing. Oh boy, should I be getting... maybe I should get another one right here. This is the 5th day? Yeah, so you're not quite done, but they will now email you. They'll tell you, good job passing. You'll have to fill out some paperwork for the 1099, and then you'll be good to go. Wow. Did anybody take that short with me right there? I apparently was way too aggressive in my stop. But hopefully anybody of you that took that little short right there, I hope you're still holding because you're making a lot more than I did. How much do I have to work with now? All right, good. So now I am at 543. And I'm just repeating myself because there's constantly new people, but I want to stay at $500 on the day. $500 on the day, which means I now have $43.50 worth of risk that I can still do. So if I were to get right there, let's just call it 20, and then my stop is down there. Oh, that's a 20-point stop. That's $40. No, I don't want to risk $40 if I'm wrong on that one. No. Oh, we're at 2 hours. So let's do this real quick. I'll go for another 15 minutes. If in the next 2 minutes we can get up to 120 likes or $10 in super chats. So in the next 2 minutes, I'll go by viewer. If you're enjoying, I'll go for another, 15 minutes, but we got to get up to either 120 likes, which is 10 more, or $10 in super chats. And if we don't, then I'll just call it good. But let's see if we can make that happen. Hope have a nice hammer here. Hammer right above the overnight high. 112. Yeah, I could get long right here and then just put the stop low here. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Buy, sell. What's my? It's a 9. So yeah, basically $20 risk here. I like it. I like it. Come on, 4 more likes. Again, for those of you that are new to futures, watch this number down here and ask yourself, how do you feel about how it moves? That's what I'm trying to prove right now. Right now, I'm doing the bare minimum of volatility, the bare minimum of movement that you could expect. And if you are not happy with it, how do you super chat? Down in the chat area, there's a little dollar sign, or there's like a button with a dollar sign. If you click on that, it sounds like great test speed is about to be the knight in shining armor. Yeah, click on that and it should give you some choices. Oh, you dirty, dirty rat. There is the D bounce. All right, I better exit these out for now. Yeah, we were coming up shy on the likes, but it sounds like great test speed. Maybe prepping a super chat, so I'll give that a chance. So here is the bounce. Now, what could get interesting is, do you get short around that green line or the 21 EMA? The problem is it's not exactly a clean area. I mean, it has ultimately been rejected by it, as you can see right here, but you definitely have to give it a little bit of wiggle room if that were to be the case. I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of that line. Still interested. If it does want to come down here, I still think that's an interesting area. Stop loss being the overnight high right there. Come on, 2 more likes. 2 more likes. Great test speed. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe he's still trying to figure it out. I guess you could maybe try to buy here, confirmation, thinking that's, but then your stop is way down there, and I just don't have that much left. I don't have that much left on the day. I have $43 that I'm willing to risk, so that stop would be a little bit too tight or too wide for me. Nice, 122 likes. But hey, great test speed. If you're still wanting to do the super chat, I'll always take my kids want to have beans and rice tonight. Hey, there it is, right there. Hit that like. Can I like that? I think so. Boom. Great test speed insured, another 15 minutes. So what time is it right now? It is 1. We've been going for 2 hours and 6 minutes, so 15 minutes on top of that. 2 hours, and we'll call it 22 minutes. Thank you, great test speed. Very nice of you. Does it want to come down? $123 likes. Amazing. Fantastic. There is, and I don't like this, and I'm going to explain why. I mean, there's that trend line right there, but what's got me worried is on the 5-minute, all this shenanigans is happening right around the VWAP. So to be getting short down around this area, in my opinion, a bit sketchy, especially when we just had this hammer candle form. So for me, that's why I'm thinking long, if anything, because even if it doesn't work out on the long side, you have some well-defined areas for stops. You can keep your risk very minimal. But yeah, short right now. Again, no guarantees, so maybe a short is like the smartest thing to do right now. But me personally, I'd be sweating. I'd be sweating bullets. Oh my goodness. I say this like every time, but I literally am the worst businessman you're ever gonna. So the first time I've talked about this, first time I've remembered, but I am offering a live webinar this Thursday, talking about the tools I'm using, how I manage consistency, how I build consistency, how I manage risk, ensure that you have the right framework as a trader. A lot of people show up and they think they're doing things the right way, but they're actually not. So this just makes sure it's not a holy. Don't sign up thinking, oh, so you're going to teach me your magic system or holy grail. No. I'm going to make sure that you have the right framework. I'm going to make sure you understand what the tools are, how they should actually be used, and all of that. So if you are interested in that this Thursday, there is the link. Unbelievable. First time I brought this up, and we've been here for like over 2 hours right now. So yeah, I'm a fantastic salesman. Still just waiting. Again, I am interested. In fact, I'll put the order out just in case we get a... So buy there, stop down there. What is my risk? Oh, no. I need to move my... Yeah, okay. That's a little over $20 risk, but that's okay. I have $20 to work with. So that's what I'm thinking right now. That's what I would be comfortable with, going long down around here. I could see making sense. Well, went from highs of 180 to 107, calling it here. See you tomorrow. Hey, thanks, JMO. Have a good one. Once again, I think 125 likes is the record for the live stream, and we're only 2 away. So if you want to be part of streaming history, being part of a new record. Hit that like button if you have not yet. We have not broken the concurrent viewers, which was at 130. I think we were on our way, but then my internet went out twice during this live stream, and one of them really just killed the momentum of the concurrent viewers. 130 is the record, so my new goal right now is 150. But we'll see. I don't know. Like I said, we'll go to 221. Would like to try to get one more trade. For those of you that... Is anybody here like new to futures and now I'm kind of opening your eyes? And do I have you kind of reconsidering like, oh, maybe I should stop doing stocks or options or Forex or crypto? Like this future stuff in the prop firm, this seems pretty cool. Is anybody here like have I opened anybody's eyes up to that? Because that is my main motivation. Like I'm not hiding that. I've said this many times and will continue to say it. I'm going to say it again right now. My motivation with this is not to try to like impress you, not try to make you think I'm some sort of great trader. No, I'm trying to bring people into the future space because I truly believe that it is the best way to go about trading. Whether you're a new person, if you're struggling, I'm in futures trading in a prop firm. Pam's Plant is where it's at. Hi, I'm new. Just tune in. Well, welcome, Ruben. So if I do get filled down here, for those of you that have never seen futures trade, just realize that I'm doing the bare minimum of volatility, the bare minimum of movement that could be expected. And then I just want you to watch that number and ask yourself, what do you think about that? And if you think it's way too small, way too slow, there are solutions for it. And that's one of the great things about prop firms with, or future trading with a prop firm, oh, it's getting close, is your ability to control the movement. Let's see. Oh, so, and I'm in. Okay, watch that number. See if we can get a bounce upwards here. But just watch that number. That's the key dynamic. And if you think it's too slow, I'm not offended. I will give you the solution when this trade is over. But just keep on watching that number. Keep on watching that number. It is not budging. There we go. Okay, I'm going to bring this slightly there. So this will now be a winning trade no matter what. I'm going to move my stop loss as it goes. Very good. Come on, push up some more, and I'll move my stop loss up some more. There we go. Yes, I'm very tight with it, but my goal is just to show the movement. So this is a winning trade now no matter what. I'll move it up some more. Move it up some more. There we go. So another winning trade. Now, if you're looking at that number and saying, Clay, that was so slow, that was terrible, what are you doing with your life? I get it. But you can make that number right there way more fast. I don't know if that's the right English. By changing that number. How high could you change that number? Well, if you're using prop firms, then you could, and this is the, again, I'm doing the bare minimums. So the bare minimum you could get with Take Profit Trader is right here, the 25,000 buying power, which would cost you 105. That number that you saw is at 1. You could have raised that as high as 30. So that's gonna make that movement a whole lot more. But if you're still saying 30 is too little, well then on the other end of the spectrum, you could get $150,000 or purchasing power, which would cost you 252, and the amount that you could have raised that number that you saw at 1, you could have taken that up as high as 150. So that is what I mean with Pam's Plant, is there is great movement, but if the movement, and the best thing about it is you can control it via how I just showed you. So that's why I'm doing this very specifically. I'm showing you the bare minimum that you could expect. 1 micro, and that's it. And, nice. We're actually up more now. So we took that one trade that was a loser and are now back in the green. Ruben. Oh, thank you, Ruben, for bringing that up. Ruben says, no time decay? No, Ruben. So you must be coming from the world of options, huh? That's the other thing. There is no theta. There is no time decay in futures. So yes, this sideways action here, Ruben, which drives you nuts as somebody that's trading, buying options. Oh boy, you hate sideways action because of that time decay. Time decay does not exist in the world of futures. That's pretty cool, right, Ruben? In and of itself. So yes, I would, So for options traders, I would say that and plus, Ruben, I don't know where you fall within the pattern day trading rule. I don't know if you have less than the 25,000, where then you have to worry about your pattern day trades and all that nonsense. There is no pattern day trading rule in futures. So no time decay, no pattern day trading rule. There you go, Ruben. Check out the link that you see on the screen, or just check out my pinned comment. It sounds like futures are for you. As it comes back down. Now this one I'm a little bit more sketched out by. I don't know if I am as quite as trusting of this one from the long side. Nice, 129. I mean, we might as well make this 130, right? 130 more likes. And I will do this. I will go another 15. I guess we'll just kind of keep going. If we can take this all the way up to the FOMC and watch the craziness, we'll do it. But if we can get another 20 likes, so because the 15 minutes I said was going to be 2 hours and 22 minutes. So basically, within the next, I don't know, we'll call it 8 minutes. If we can get this up to 150 likes or another $20 in super chats, I'll go another 15 minutes. But I want this to be viewer driven, meaning if you guys are still interested, if you want me to keep going, well, then I'll use those as the metrics to gauge whether or not you want me to keep going. So again, within the next, I guess, 6 minutes. 6 minutes, either up to 150 likes or $20 in super chats. And I'll go another 15 minutes. Usually I'm done at 2 hours, but per the metrics that I'm using, people are staying interested, so we'll keep going. But what platform? So the way it works, Ruben, is super nice. Is if you do go with Take Profit Trader, which is who I'm using, who I recommend, so after you determine what amount of purchasing power you want, during the checkout process, it'll ask you, hey, what platform do you want? At that point, I'm using Tradeovate, and the nice thing here is that they'll create the account for you. So you don't have to go and do anything separately. They'll create the account for you, so you get signed up, and then they'll email you your username and password, and then you get logged on, and then you can get right to it. Yeah, Ruben, it's I'm not going to say anything is a holy grail because the holy grail does not exist, but I would argue it's something that should certainly at least be considered. Futures through a prop firm, otherwise known as Pam's Plant. Pam's Plant is undefeated. I have had nobody argue against it. The best people can do is come at me. Oh, you're a con man. You're a scammer. You're a shill. You don't know what you're doing. You don't even make money. You're a terrible all they do is attack me. But nobody has been able to overcome Pam's Plant and be like, no, Pam's Plant is not good because stocks are better because options are better because Forex is better because which one am I missing? Crypto is better because none of them. Now, and this is all in the day trading category. Investing, swing trading, those are different categories. But within the day trading category, nobody has been able to attack successfully Pam's Plant. People attack me, yeah, but that's the ad hominem fallacy, right? You're not addressing the argument, you're addressing something else. Oh, good question. What's a withdrawal rule? So that's the main reason why I like Take Profit Trader is other prop firms, which doesn't make them a scam. It just, in my mind, kind of irks me. But other prop firms, once you start making money in their pro accounts, they're like, yeah, you made $10,000, but you can't request money until 2 weeks from now. And also, in 2 weeks from now, you're only allowed to request $2,000 of the $10,000 that you made. Whereas Take Profit Trader is like, if you make $10,000 in a pro account, you can request it right away, and you can request all $10,000 of it. So to me, that is what separates Take Profit Trader from a lot of other services. Yeah, Take Profit Trader is maybe a little more, and I say it is more expensive, but not by much. A little bit more expensive up front. But in my mind, I think that flexibility that you get on the back end is well worth it. What's Pam's Plant? Come on, I just showed you Pam's Plant. It's not Pam's Plan, it's Pam's Plant. And it's right here. This is Pam's Plant. It is the argument on why if you are a day trader and you are trading stocks, options, Forex, or crypto, you are wasting your time. All those things are garbage compared to Pam's Plant. That's my claim. If you are a day trader, you want to day trade, and you are doing stocks, options, crypto, or Forex, you are wasting your time. You are not being efficient with your time. All those other things are garbage compared to Pam's plant. So Pam's plant is my argument, my reasoning behind that statement as to why I believe people should trade futures through a prop firm. So that right there is Pam's plant. Earlier on the stream, I went through all the points of it, but here, still looking for maybe another trade. Getting a nice hammer on the 5-minute. And are we getting a falling wedge? I don't know. I can't quite tell. Maybe a poor man's falling wedge. I don't know. I don't like it enough to actually take the falling wedge. I'll leave it there. Maybe some of you are like, oh no, I agree with that falling wedge. That's a great falling wedge. I'll buy that breakout. Maybe you'll make a better decision than I have. Maybe this is a better falling wedge than what I believe it to be. But I'll leave that up to you to decide. I said 22. So not looking like we are going to make it, as we have we have basically a minute to either get 13 more likes or get, I think I said $20 in super chats. So not looking like we're going to make it. IFVG, take the longs if close above. What is IFVG a stock? No, force fed. You just got to do the whatever your drawdown was. Inverse fair value gap. Okay, you're too cool for me. You're using terms that are like, they sound really cool, but I think I have no idea what they are, and I think they're kind of a gimmick. I don't know what it is, but when I start to hear stuff like that, I'm like, all right, that sounds like a gimmick to me. It sounds cool, though. I don't know what it is. I will say it sounds cool. An inverse fair value gap. Whoa, whoa. Well, I was wrong. For those of you that were like, Clay, I disagree. I think that is a good quality falling wedge. I'm buying that breakout. Congratulations to you. You guys were right. I chose poorly. Bummer. And we are at 22, did not quite make it, so I'll take that as we are good. So, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. Again, everybody, if you enjoyed everything, and if you want, I am offering a free class on Thursday. I'll put a link here. Would love to have you join. Goes over the tools I'm using, how I build consistency, how I manage risk, and more importantly, building a framework of how you should make sure you're approaching the markets, how you should understand the markets, how you should be understanding your approach to figuring out what's going to work best for you. So again, if you are wanting a holy grail, some sort of magic system, don't show up. You're going to lose all your money anyways, so don't show up. But if you are open to like, okay, yeah, let's make sure I have the right framework. Let's make sure I'm viewing the market, viewing these tools the way they're intended to be viewed, then yeah, show up for this. I'll go over my story and, kind of go through all of that. So by all means, yeah, put the link there. And then if you do want to trade alongside me and other really quality traders, I do offer a private community. You can check that out at that link right there. And then, yeah, if you just want to check out a bunch of the free stuff I have, because I know sometimes as soon as you throw a price tag at somebody, they're like, you little scammer. Oh, you scam. So here's a bunch of free stuff for all you people that are offended by anybody trying to monetize their time. So if you're in the I'm offended that you're trying to monetize your time category, there you go. There's like a bunch of free stuff. So, well, there we go. Set a new record for likes. That's awesome. And I appreciate it. So thank you everybody for being here. Take care. And please don't be a degenerate gambler and go start to trade the FOC minutes. Please don't do that.